me, Michaela, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing my June wrap-up. Yes, the last video I posted was my May wrap-up, and I was all like super prepared to be like, I'm gonna make videos again. Totally forgot that literally that week I was going home to visit family, including like extended family, and I was also like working remotely while doing that, so I had zero time to be doing any of that. But now, you know, I've gone back. I've also had another full week of work. Oh my god. It was like a tornado in Montreal. I did not move to Montreal being like, oh wow, can't wait for the tornado. That doesn't happen. What is going on? I'm scared. Yeah, so I'm back. This is gonna be a very short video because as I was talking about in my May reading wrap up, I spent most of June in a reading slump, and it was not fun. Not much to talk about, but I mean, like, let's just talk about it since that's what we're here to do. I decided to switch it up, and instead of sitting on my couch, I'm sitting on my one stair. So yeah, in June, I only read 3 books. One of them was owned, 2 of them were loaned. Rhyming. The one I owned was a physical copy, the other 2 were digitally through Libby. All 3 were new to me. I had an average rating of 4.17, so really, like, although I wasn't reading much, it ended up kind of being an okay month. Went a pretty good month. I read a total of 1,488 pages for an average book length of 496, so pretty big books, some pretty large book reading has been happening to me recently, and I average about 49 pages a day. I will say most of that is because the final book, that 3rd book I read in the month of June, got me out of my slump. I was reading it very quickly, but the other 2 books, it took me 3 weeks to read those 2 books, and then it took me like 1 week to read the 3rd book, which was like a very large book. So let's just get into these books so I can tell you about that. I started off June and I was like, I'm gonna read Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. How I managed to like exist for the 26 years of living that I have done so far, and I have not had Gone Girl spoiled for me at all. Like, and I haven't been like avoiding it. Like, I haven't been actively been like, oh, don't tell me what happens in Gone Girl because I haven't read it yet. No, I've just lived my life, and somehow, despite there being like a movie and the book, and they're both being like very popular, I had no idea what happened in it. So I was like, this is my moment, this is my time to read Gone Girl, and I'm gonna be shocked and appalled. Like, this book is popular for a reason, so I'm gonna love it, and I haven't read a thriller in ages, and I'm like in the mood to be thrilled. And I gave it a 3.5 because like it was okay. Like it was like a good book, and like the like psychology of it was like good, but then I also felt like I don't know, it just like didn't feel, it wasn't shocking to me, and I felt like it was supposed to be shocking. So I actually didn't really enjoy the book until like it got to like the second half, or even like the last third of it, where it was more the psychology behind what was happening in the first half. The book was revealed. Like, that's when it got interesting. The first half of the book was like, I was like, why am I reading this? This is so boring. Like, I don't like it. And then the ending though, the ending was good. Like, the ending was, that was a little twist, a little shocking, and I enjoyed it, hence the 3.5. If the ending wasn't like that, I probably would have given it a 3. Like, the first half of the book, like a 2. First half of the book I did not like, which was really tough because I was like, this is gonna be so good, I'm gonna read it so fast. Also, it was like way longer of a book than I thought it was gonna be. Why were there so many pages? Like, I was like, I'm gonna read a thriller, let me read Gone Girl, and then I opened it and it was like 600 pages on my iPad or something. I did have like the Libby copy that like had extra like scenes that were like cut out or something, but like even so, it was still like really long. I wasn't thinking, like in my brain I was like, thriller, fast-paced, short book, great, will help me, you know, get some good reading in. But instead, it really exasperated the slump I was in, and then tell me why I was like, no one will get me out of this slump that I just made worse by reading a thriller. Reading another thriller. So I then read The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley, but I actually ended up liking this one. It was a 4-star. I did find it like very interesting. I do like the way Lucy Foley, like I've only read 2 Lucy Foleys. I also read the guest list through audio. I like the way that she's like, the jumping in time to like present versus, you know, so many days, hours, whatever before, to like kind of slowly reveal and then seeing what happens with the murder, right? Like that appeals to me. So I do like Lucy Foley things. However, the reveal in this was something that I was a little about, just because it's like, I don't really necessarily like that being the twist. Like it was a good twist, and I didn't really see it coming until like very, like almost until it was like right upon us. Like, you know, I was reading, I was like, it couldn't be, and then it was. But then the reasoning for why it was, I was like, I kind of just wish the person did that, and not that their reasoning for doing that was like the reason that they gave in the book, okay? It just didn't appeal to me that much. Otherwise, it probably would have been like a 4.5 stars if they just like cut that element. I would have been happy with it. So yeah. So then I was like pretty excited. I was like, hoo, know what we're gonna do now? Like I'm feeling like if I pick a good book, like I'm about to get out of this reading slump. And I read The Dragon Republic. So yeah, it took me like 2.5 weeks to read Gone Girl, and then like a week to read The Hunting Party. Maybe a little over a week, I don't know. And then I literally read this. How many pages is this book? This almost 700 page book in 5 days. So I gave it 5 stars. Now, did I give it 5 stars? Partially maybe because I was finally excited about a book for the first time in like weeks, and I couldn't put it down for once, and it got me out of my slump, maybe. But also I still found it like a really good book, and obviously if it wasn't a really good book, I would still be in a reading slump. So there we go, by R.F. Kuang. It is the second book in the Poppy War, and I loved it. I think that R.F. Kuang's writing in this fantasy series is like so good. Like I find like the plot, sometimes you're reading it and it feels like nothing is happening, but then also so much is happening in like a good way, and not in like the blood-marked way that I was talking about last month, where it was like nothing is happening and I hate it, because it's like everything is so much that it's just like constantly, it doesn't feel like a peak. And then also the characters in this series are like so complex. It's such like a brutal, realistic take on war. I talked about this in my Poppy War vlog, but it was just like so good to me. And like when things are so complex like that, it really makes you think about, you're like, oh wow, it's like nobody's in the right because there's no right answer kind of scenarios, like all the time. It was good, and I'm so excited now to read the 3rd book in this trilogy. It is on my shelf. I'm gonna be reading it. I'm so excited. It's just like, it's gonna be good. I just know it's gonna be good. So that's like how I ended June. I was like on a high. I like got out of the reading slump, and then that first week of July was that week that I was home vacationing, but I was working remotely, but I was home, but there was a lot of family anyway. And I actually managed to read a couple books that week, and I'm now reading another book, and I will talk about those books at the end of this month or next month or whenever I decide to talk about those books, because that's when I talk about them. But I am thinking that I'm going to make my summer TBR. It is like a little late, I know, like to be making a summer TBR, but you know what? My other 2 seasonal TBR videos have also been late, so it just makes sense, you know, like it's consistent. I'll talk about like the rest of my summer reading plans in another video soon, hopefully, fingers crossed. No promises though, because like I apparently can't stick to those. And yeah, that's the video, you know, just like short and sweet. I didn't really feel like talking too in detail about these books. Also, I felt like I couldn't, like with thrillers, I don't want to say too much because like anything could really be considered a spoiler. Obviously with The Dragon Republic, like it's the 2nd book in a series, so like I can't really say too much without it being spoilering for the 1st book. So yeah, and then I also only read 3 books this month, or last month. So it's kind of like very vague, but there we go. That's what I'm doing today. Hope you enjoyed. If you like this video, make sure to give it a like, and if you happen to like me, consider subscribing. I'd be happy to have you. Comment something down below. I don't know, give me like that really awkward, like am I the only one who thinks like the thumbs up emoji is like really awko taco? Ew, why did I say that? I don't know, like sometimes I send the thumbs up emoji because it feels like the best option to respond to a message, but then I go, ew, that's so awkward. I don't know why I sent a thumbs up emoji. I'm much more of the like, woohoo, hands emoji. I don't know, that feels more genuine to me. But yeah, comment something down below, whether it be about books or books you read, books I read, books you want to read, books you think I should read. If you just want to be like, hey, if you want to talk about the thumbs up emoji and if it's also a really awkward emoji for you, like please let me know so I have that solidarity with you. And with that, you know, I guess I'll see you in the next one. I hope you have a wonderful day today. Bye-bye.